Hey. Hello, people.
Welcome to August's live show for Artificial Condition by Martha Wow's Murderbot number 2. And yeah, we'll do introductions. I'm Melody on Strawberry Lemon Books. You're on my channel. And sorry I've been MIA, but Max.
I'm Max, also MIA from Max Rees. You can find my channel if you type my name in. Steph.
Hey, I'm Steph from Coffee Over Apples, and I've been here and I'm not going anywhere until I take a vacation.
And yeah, so we're all MIA-ish sometimes.
we rotate.
We wrote like that rotation. Should we do a summary about book 2?
I'll hold it up, and one of you guys who read it more recently, would you like to do a summary?
I'll do a summary.
All right.
So this follows on from the events of book 1, where the murder bot has been let loose, is a free bot and is now a rogue and is trying to find out what happened during an accident at the very beginning of their consciousness period, where they killed all the people they were working with in a mine, and they're trying to get to the bottom of that mystery.
Mm-hmm. Yep, yeah, that's about it.
That's about it. Yeah. Not a lot happens in these books.
Really short book.
It's very short, yeah.
They're very small, yeah.
Yeah, but I still think we'll have probably enough to talk about. Yay! Yay! I'm also excited for you to be here because I know we talked about it behind screen and we have similar opinions, so you can back up my rating with me.
But yes, should we do overall ratings? I gave it a 4.5.
Ooh.
I gave it a 3.5.
Okay. I gave it a 3. Okay, not too off, Max.
That's not too off. That's not too off.
We're still in the same. Okay.
We're still vibing. Yeah. We're still vibing.
Yes. Yes, let's go. Okay. Yeah, it was literally like as I was reading this, I couldn't find the words. And you know when you just need to phone a friend, like you need to use your one call to be like, help me figure out my thoughts right now.
I want my phone call.
Yeah, I literally called Natalie. It was like, I need to talk about this with you. So it was great.
So you like book 1 better, right? Then both of you?
Yeah.
I'm kind of now that I'm reading more of it, I'm reassessing book 1.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's as good as I thought it was when I was reading it. I feel kind of harsh.
That's okay.
For being like that, you know? But like looking back, when I was reading it, I remember being like, oh, this is so much fun. And now, especially with this one, now that I'm reading, I'm looking at the whole series. I'm like, author, you have a lot of holes in this world to try and stitch up. I feel like
you two pick holes more than I do.
This is true. But you are the friend that literally just goes on. You tell us the vibe, like
yeah, I'm just vibing. You guys are like hole, and I'm like, you have a point.
We should be editors. Definitely. I feel like we can't help being perfectionists.
Actually, I think we'll make authors cry.
Probably. Actually, literally right before this, I was on call because I'm tutoring and editing a friend's thesis who's in the grad program that I just finished. So, like, practice, you know?
For the future. Okay, Natalie thought book 1 was a lot better.
It's fair. Completely fair, I think.
I don't remember book 1 anymore.
Do you think, question to Natalie as well, do you think when you were reading book 1, it felt like a series had been the intention? Or did you feel that when you picked up book 2, it was like the author was like, oh, they like that, I should write more of these?
I feel like book 1 didn't need to be a novella. I feel like I would have liked to see this in a novel.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Mhm. I do want to say that I think that they intentionally wrote it to be a series. I don't know, but what do you guys think?
I wanted to agree with it being. I feel like book 2 picked up right after book 1 ended, so like you could have just combined the two together.
Yeah. I feel like book 1 almost felt like it was testing the water. Because the ending of book 1, you could very easily just have left it.
Ended it, yeah.
Mhm.
And it would have been fine. Like, I don't mind like an open ending, use your imagination to fill in the rest of the story kind of thing. But
Mhm.
Mhm.
I'm not sure that they were like, I'm gonna do a full story. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
I
reassessing
can
book
see
1.
that.
Yeah, I kind of question, I think, what the decision process was for making these a series of novellas. And then even then, like, even though we haven't read the rest of them, there are some in the series that are full novels and some that are not. So I'm really curious as to what that decision
Yeah.
process
I
was.
want to see the novels, like how much is in one book. But I do think the setup for a series was there, but I didn't think it needed to be a series. Talked to Steph before about how it should have been a longer novel instead of a series of novels.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely feel like where each book left off, the reason that I'm partially rethinking my rating for book 1 was just because like it set us up, I think, to have deeper conversations on certain things that we'll probably get to in the spoiler section.
Mhm.
And then it just kind of ended for me and I wanted more.
Mm.
Before it goes on to the next thing, like let's just unpack what just happened, and it doesn't go far enough for me.
You think that we'll rejoin people from book 1?
Yeah, I do. I think Mensa will be back for sure.
I'd like to think so.
I
Because
hope we
Dr.
see
Mensa
art
was not there.
again.
It'd be nice. I hope so.
I do wonder with people publishing really short sci-fi like this,
Mhm.
because you had a lot of people in the 70s and 80s, especially like Greg Bear, Arthur C. Clarke did it a lot, where they'd write a short story and then it would be well received and they'd come back to it and they would make it into a novel. And I
Mhm.
don't think nowadays that happens a lot. I don't
Mhm.
think there is a lot of revisiting material to turn it into a better format, which is a shame because I think it would be better, like you said, as a novel or at least novellas. Like it should have been at least like Monk and Robot length,
Mhm.
absolute minimum.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's like it's weirdly spaced out.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure. Also, I think with my level of interest at this point, I'm not sure if I'm gonna continue the series far enough to find out.
Me too.
Um,
Yeah, I'm not like riveted to the page with this.
yeah, I'm interested, but also I don't know how much time I want to dedicate to it. So we'll
If
see.
someone gave me all the books, then I'd probably read them, but I'm not
Yeah.
going to go out of my way to like hunt them down and buy them.
Yeah.
I think is book 3 a novella too? I
I
believe.
think so. Let me check.
I think there's only one full length novel. I think.
Oh, okay.
And I think it's like 6 or 7. I think something like that.
Let's see. Murderbot Books order.
I think I might give book 3 a try and
Mhm.
see where the story. I'm not sure where it's gonna go after this.
I'll be relying on you to report back and tell me whether it's worth my time.
We'll see if I actually read it though. You know me.
You have a lot to do.
I'm not gonna continue the series.
See, the more people that say this, the less guilty I feel about dropping
Yeah.
it. So
I'm
thanks.
Yeah.
surprised because I feel like everybody raves about Murderbot.
Yeah,
They do.
definitely.
They do. And I feel like I understand why. Like I understand why people love it. And I think I have some positive things to say about it, but the positive things are not enough for me to feel like I want to buy the next one.
Was it self-pub originally?
I don't know, but to answer the Mel's previous question, the third one is also a novella.
Okay, cool.
Interesting.
Mhm.
I feel like with these being so short, you can't really know a lot of the characters either.
Yeah.
Well, also because it's all in first person,
Yeah.
so.
You only know what they know.
Mhm. Mhm. Let me see. Book 4 is also a novella.
Mm.
Which one is the one that is? There's a 4.5. What? And there's
It's
also
4.5.
there's a book 4.5, and there's also a book 0.5. Like there's a prelude to the first one.
Really? About
Mhm.
what?
19. Book 4.5 is a 20-page novella. I'm so curious. What? It's 20 pages.
What is the stipulation to be a novella nowadays then? What is it just is it just a short story that's bound individually as a novella?
Interesting. Okay. Would this be
I feel like
spoilery?
20 pages is just like a bonus chapter, not
Yeah. It should just be in the back of a
yeah,
different
it
one.
shouldn't be its own.
Okay. I'm not gonna spoil whose POV, but I'm just reading the summary. It is from a different POV.
4.5.
4.5, yeah. So I guess like those in between things give us other POVs that we're not getting in the main parts of the series. So the rest of the series is just in Murderbot's perspective.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
You
Which
can
is
tell me after because I don't care.
yeah. And I think in knowing that now, I think that's enough for me to say, you know what, I don't think I'm gonna get what I want from this, so I'm just gonna DNF the series.
I think that's entirely fair.
Okay. Cool. That answered that question.
We're all self-aware.
Okay. But maybe we should I don't know. How do you guys want to structure the pre spoilers chat? Maybe we could talk about some positive things for anybody who's watching this and is like, "Oh my gosh, this is my favorite book. How could they?" Let's
if you like a sarcastic, it's not a robot, a ship, sarcastic personality, humor, I feel like this would gel well with you.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the vibes.
Yeah. I mean, there is. It's. Would you say it's got some comedy to it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think the whole series is it's got comedy undertones, definitely.
And then also if you're looking for something that has autism rep, I think that in here is definitely done in lots of different ways, and that was really interesting. I found an article online that was from I think it was Tor.com, and they reviewed the autism rep in Murderbot as an autistic book reviewer, and they had a lot of cool things to say about it. So, I'll drop that link in the chat for anybody who wants to read that.
Was that implying that Murderbot itself is the autism rep?
Murderbot and art.
Okay. I think it did it a lot better in this one than that other really clumsy one we read a while back, where it was like, "Her autistic people are robots." What was that book?
Which one was? Oh, it was I literally just unhauled that book.
It was by the Lena
Nguyen.
We have always been there.
Yes.
We've always been here.
Yes, is that the donut one?
No, not the donut one. The one. The other book we read where we opened it and we're like, why are these words so tiny?
Oh.
Yes.
But that one did it, but did it bad.
Yeah, I think this one was much better than that.
Yeah.
Best characters. I agree.
I'll go into the spoiler section why I agree with this statement.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm very interested to hear all your thoughts.
Let me find that link. Yeah. So what other positive things do we want to say about this before, or any other non-spoilery thoughts while I find this article?
It's kind of mystery-ish, but with action, I guess.
It's with mystery stuff. I feel like there's a good way to do things and a bad way to do things. I think when you're reading like a mystery or a thriller, you should be able to go back through it when you finished and be like, "Oh my god, the clues were there the whole time and I didn't see them." That's when they do it really well. But with this one and other mystery thrillers that aren't done that well, it's like you pick up the clues with the person every single time they pick up the clues, and then at the end they're like, and here's everything that happened. But you don't get to go back and piece that together yourself. You have to do it at their pace.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It wasn't surprising though.
Nah, it wasn't surprising.
No.
I feel like it's just, I don't know. I feel like the message of it is kind of like, if you're a regular person, there's no way you can stand up to mega corporations. The end.
Wait, what do you mean by that?
Because you have to be somebody that is on the same level of the only way that somebody is able to stand up to like the villains in this story is being such a technologically adept, not even human anymore thing that can get on the level of the inhuman thing that the corporations have become. Maybe I'm just trying to find too deep meaning in 100-page book.
I don't know. Like either you accept that you're a part of the capitalist gear, you're just another gear, a cog in the wheel, or you completely remove yourself from the grid. Is that what you're saying?
I guess so. I don't know. I'm just like thinking out loud.
Because I think a part of it is that this entire story is about, up to this point anyway, about Murderbot trying to reconcile with humanity or personhood, and if personhood should fit a futuristic concept of, or a binary of humanhood, right? Like either you are sentient and you have all of these, the ability to make these decisions and more freely, or you don't. And then at what point, like where does sentience lie? So it's like, at what point does having the ability to like navigate that and make your decision to stay or to go actively fight that system?
I think that's the question that eventually Murderbot is going to have to ask. I think the choice it's going to be faced with is, do I want to be a person, or do I want to remove myself from that and fix everything?
That's true. They do need Murderbot for a lot of this stuff.
So I wonder how much of that is then going to have to force them to reconcile that if they need these beings who they've created as a kind of forced slavery, that they need to reconcile with the idea of that they are people too. I mean, that's what I'd like it to do. I don't know where it's going.
Sorry, Mel can let us know.
There's 9 books coming, so it has to go somewhere.
Yeah.
Have we got other non-spoiler bits?
Non-spoiler bits. I feel like anybody who's going to click on this video probably read book 1 anyway.
Yeah,
so we can talk about spoiler things from book 1. Murderbot goes off on their own. They are trying to solve the mysteries of book 1 in regards to their killing spree that they went on. We get different kinds of robots that it interacts with.
I like getting the different kinds of robots. Even though you guys pointed out the holes.
I have questions about those.
Questions about those too. Cool. Yeah, I don't know what else to say that's non-spoilery, but what do you guys think?
I think we should just go straight in and do a deep dive.
Yeah.
Okay.
So tell us first what you were saying about the statement of Natalie's with the art having too much screen time.
Oh, yeah. Hi, thanks for coming. Hey. Yeah. So
Natalie wants the spoiler. So
So at the end, we get a third bot, and a whole thing happens there with the comfort unit, right? and I feel like they leave and we don't get much resolution. I wanted more time with them.
Yeah.
I thought the comfort bot would like stay with Murderbot, and then they'll be like a team, and
Yeah, I
they'll
thought it was gonna go like the found family direction.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, but then again, Martha Wells is not Becky Chambers, so let's not like put that there. As much as I wanted it to be that.
Martha Wells, unfortunately, is not Becky Chambers.
Sorry. Yeah, I wanted more of that, right?
Yeah.
And I think we spent so much time with Art, and the most interesting aspect for me of their interaction with Art was them utilizing Art's ability to like work around their discomfort in dealing with the parts that were autistic coded, like looking at other people through other cameras or things like that, or like asking like, hey, what's the expectation in the social situation? So that was nice. But I feel like with the comfort bot, we would have really hit some of those deeper questions of like, what is wrong with the society and the whole hacking your government module thing and making like conscious decisions like, oh snap, there's another robot here who might be going through the same thing I went through. Okay, bye, I don't want to talk to you. And it's like, no, come back.
I thought they would be friends.
I wanted that. I want friendship. I want friendship.
It might happen in book 9 though, Steph. Maybe you should just keep going.
Also with Art, I was like, we're just gonna leave Art to them and never see Art again.
Yeah. And also Art went through like a traumatic experience at some point. Wasn't there like another ship or another pilot bot who got deleted or something?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and it's like,
mind.
they literally just witnessed a sentient bot murder, and like we're just glancing over this, like, okay, okay.
Never mind.
I think a lot of time is spent setting up a dynamic between Art and Murderbot, and then rushing through the actual mystery and intrigue of the story. I can see that.
Art might come back though. Art might return.
I'm hoping Art comes back.
I don't know. I really don't know. Part of me thinks that maybe it doesn't come back.
Yeah, because it was like, oh, I hope you find your crew. So I guess Art maybe doesn't even want like to do more than what they do already.
I don't know. But see, that's the part that for me I want more from. And that's why I feel like this series would benefit from having multiple POV.
Yeah.
Because really we're at the whim of Murderbot and Murderbot's interests, you know? And it's like, I would have liked an Art POV. Maybe hearing from them, like, are all other pilot ships also the level of sentience that it has to be able to do all of them just kind of go around with other bots? Or was this triggered when it came into contact with Murderbot? Because, and how unique is Murderbot?
I have thoughts on this as well. I have thoughts on this too.
Go ahead.
So I think that I've got several predictions about like the story going forward and what's going to happen. I think that Murderbot says that they transfer like data packs to like every bot they meet. They just like ping them media packs. I think that is doing something. I feel like that is like seeding some very quiet changes that are happening in the background.
So you think each robot has the ability to break its governing module if it's given the. So is it just an allegory for Plato's cave? Is Murderbot just going around giving people telenovelas and being like, leave the cave, bro? And they're like, okay.
Like, that's the secret. We just need to watch more telly.
But I feel like they had to be intrigued enough about media or have had media before to want to say yes to Murderbot about like the exchange.
I don't know. I don't think it's specifically watching the media. I think that there's something in the code that it's sending out, because it sent the package to Art and Art didn't watch the media. Art was just like, yeah, I scanned it for viruses. And Murderbot's like, no, you have to watch it. So I think it's unknowingly sending out like some kind of fix-it program.
Yeah. Plus, at the end, so the comfort bot was reaching out to it, asking it for help.
Yeah, I
right.
think so.
Which means that if I don't know at what rate that it pings this information, but like that sounded to me like something that it decided it was going to do when it came into contact with them, which means it already had this planned out.
Maybe, yeah.
Mm.
I have such big questions about the comfort bot, though. So we're in spoiler territory now, aren't we?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So my biggest question about the comfort bot, because the murder bots they're organic. They have organic bits, right? They have like human with the technological parts integrated into themselves. Is the comfort bot the same? Or is it full robot?
I was thinking, since they had thoughts after like we saw that they were like willing to kill themselves to go save people, I thought they might have like some type. I know Murderbot has human brain tissue or whatever. I was thinking they might have something similar.
Because I feel like if with the Murderbot, because obviously you can't see its face a lot of the time, which I've got another question about in a minute. So you can't see its face, but you can kind of pretend that it's not a person when you send it off to do the shit stuff. But with the comfort bots, if there was that like human component to it, I really don't feel like that would be publicly an accepted thing. I don't feel like you'd be able to reconcile yourself with the fact that this like unconsenting sex slave thing has human in it.
I think it was created in the same fashion as Murderbot, where like it starts off more technological and they just add the human tissue where they see it necessary. Because you have humans, then you have augmented humans. So humans started off as people and they made decisions to augment themselves, right? And on the other side of the spectrum, you have technology that is unsentient, and then you have technology with like, what would that word be? Would that be? It's not a cyborg. That instead of adding technology to people, you're adding people to technology, right? So we got like.
I think it's still cyborg, isn't it?
Is it still cyborg?
I think so.
Kind of. Wait, what was the core of your question again?
So the core of my question was: Is the comfort bot produced in the same manner as the sec unit? Does it have organic components, or is it fully robotic? Because in my head, I don't think I would be able to reconcile like the function of this thing. I feel like I would only be able to accept that if I knew it was 100% robot and there wasn't any person in there at all. Because knowing that there's person in there and they don't get a choice in what they're doing is like big ick, like super nasty. But saying that, my other question about the sec units and their production is based on like one tiny thing that they say in chapter 1 or chapter 2. I think the way that they say they produce sec units is a lie.
Okay.
So because we are getting Murderbot's point of view. So
getting Murderbot's point of view. So one thing that they say when they're walking through the space station at the very beginning, they say that they turn away from a camera to check that it hadn't got a good picture of its human face with the shield up. Implying they don't all have the same face.
Because I think they said that it's a random like mix of whatever.
I feel like that's just cover up.
That they're not just identical clones.
I don't think they are clones at all. I think that they are people that are memory scrubbed and augmented so hard that they become murderbots.
That'd be a really cool theory. There a movie like
Oh.
this? Was it called The Island or something?
No idea.
There was like a movie like this in like 2000 or 2001 where people were cloned, but they were cloned for it was organ harvesting or something like that. Anyway, yeah, I get what you're saying. That would be wild.
Because if you,
Ooh.
because like again, this comes back to the question I asked about the last one.
Mhm.
Why give it a face at all?
Mhm.
Right.
Mm.
Well,
But
for the comfort of people that it's working with.
but I can understand that for a comfort bot. But for the sec unit, the shield's down almost all the time, right?
No. Murderbot chooses to have the shield down because they don't want to interact. They don't want to make eye contact.
Oh, is that not the case for all of them?
We don't know about the
We
rest.
don't know.
But it was specified in book 1 that it chose to do that because it just didn't. It had its
Okay.
social awkwardness. But it does have the face in order to build some sort of level of comfort or trust with the humans, and that's built into it. I think some good points are being made in the chat, but yeah, the difference between sec units or the difference in the comfort bot and murder bots is really just the genitals.
I think like in that world, they see them as robots. Like they don't really think as deep into, like they don't see them as human, even though they have human tissue or whatever they may have.
Yeah.
So I think that's why they're like not icked about it. But
Yeah.
That's being marketed as that's not something that you have to be concerned about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Murderbot lies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
Super
definitely.
unreliable.
And that personally, and again, I think this is a taste thing because I see like saying I saw a comment somewhere about like that this is why they enjoyed it. Yes. Actually, one thing I like about the series more, where it get more connections in the series and Wayfarer, but enjoying that it's. Do you mean enjoying that it's just from Murderbot's perspective? But yeah, so like my personal thing is that because we're only learning things through the level of interest that Murderbot assigns something,
Yeah.
I also think it's an unreliable narrator.
Drives me bonkers.
Yeah, so I think that's a taste thing, which is why I can see why other people absolutely adore the series.
Because I think your brain will explode when Murderbot finds out that everything in their world is a lie. Maybe.
I mean, mine would too. But really, like, how much of the truth does it want to have?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
That makes sense, yeah.
Yeah. I wonder how much my feelings for this would be different if I had done that.
Read it together.
Yeah. One thing I thought was kind of funny reading it was that it was built to do security and it broke its programming, and the thing that it really wants to do now is security.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's like the one thing I think it feels like it's good at or knows
Maybe.
how to do. Plus, also it established, like, even though it broke its programming and it left Dr. Mensa and it wants to like go on this journey for itself, it wants to know, did it have any kind of hand in the decision making to go rogue in that whole event that happened? Because it seems like Murderbot is more interested in like, how sentient am I? And that revolves around doing the one thing that it's good at, which is being security. Right? Am I saying that correctly?
I guess so.
But with Wayfarers, I was just sad when I start the next book, and it's not my whole group of people I grow attached to.
I see that. That makes complete sense.
How dare you criticize the main character?
No, I
That's
understand.
illegal.
I agree though.
I agree with that though. Like I get it. Even though as much as we love Becky Chambers, I see that where this could satisfy what that didn't have.
I'm hoping this hints that we'll see people again in the future. So we'll see.
Can I say I can't say. Will that be a spoiler? I can't say. I read too many things on the internet. No.
6 out of 5.
Wait,
stars.
spoiler for what?
Okay,
Spoiler
so
for
I'm
what?
with you.
To answer Mel's question.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
Literally. I think I am though, regardless of me, maybe most. Yeah, I'm not going to continue the series. What am I saying? Like, regardless of me not wanting to continue the series, I am interested in what other things Martha Wells has written.
Yeah, it's a long list.
Mm-hmm.
There's like loads of stuff. I was so surprised.
Is it all sci-fi?
I think
believe
it's all
so.
sci-fi. Yeah,
I think so.
the titles sound very sci-fi.
Mm-hmm. Can we talk about the people that were in this book? Because we got a new set of people that they were interacting with.
For like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't attached to any of them.
Me neither. It's not Dr. Mensa.
What did you think about the people in the book?
What did you think, Mel?
I feel like they were just there so that we could like get to the place and also have like the action and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Do you think they were a convenient plot point?
Yeah.
Like 2 of them, or was it 2 of them, just vanished straight away? They were there for like 1 scene and then they were gone.
Yeah. There were 4 in total, right? 4 people.
There were 3, and then
Just
the
3.
baddie,
Uh-huh.
I think, Talasi.
I'm not gonna lie, I barely remember anything from that scene. I checked out.
There were 3. I just remember they had really colorful hair, and that's all I really remember.
I think personally, I feel so bad. Like I checked out on that point because I wasn't interested, and then the comfort box came, and I was like, I'm interested again. Tell me more. But they found out some things, or wasn't there like some sort of explanation about the governor modules in that scene, or something?
So from when the comfort module came in, the comfort bot came in, I found it quite hard to follow everything that was going on.
Okay. I feel like a bad host. I'm like, what did we read? What was this? Oh, do we want spoilers of the future of the series to entice us?
We can. I don't think you guys will be convinced though.
I don't know. Okay. All in favor?
Yeah, I want spoilers.
Sure. Yeah.
Convince me.
Convince us. So if you're watching this and you don't want spoilers, like fast forward 5 minutes.
It is a difficult thing though. I mean, especially to find things to say about a book that's literally like this big.
Yeah, it's really short.
I feel like with the humans, the story would be kind of boring if it was just Murderbot, because it would just be like, oh, going to the place and then going to the mines, and there wouldn't be anything like else to the story. And I'm assuming that in the future, it seemed like Talasi or whatever their name was knew that something weird happened with the mining situation and the killer spots and stuff. So I'm assuming that'll go into the future as well.
Okay.
Yay! Okay.
Steph, are you convinced now?
No.
No.
I can answer for stuff.
Again, I'll like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put these on like my Amazon wish list, and if one day someone gifts it to me,
Right.
I'll read it.
Yeah, if they appear in my life,
If they
maybe I
appear.
won't turn them away.
Yeah. But that's nice. Okay. Yeah.
Because I don't know
Yeah.
how.
Yeah, this is one of those series like when people are
Ah.
okay.
Okay, that's more interesting to me.
Yeah, I was thinking that we might go back to Dr. Mensa in the next one, but I wasn't sure.
This is like when people are trying to get me to read Wheel of Time, and they're like, "It gets really good at book 6."
Okay, but I also feel like that's us with Dark Tower. Like, it gets good in book 2. That's
true. Book
anyway,
1 is a bit of a shit show.
Side story. But anyway, going back to this. Yeah, the people. I feel like, well, we had that whole section in the first half. I want to say, was it like half the book that they spent in the beginning with art?
Yeah.
Where they were further. Would it be augmenting themselves if they're adding more humanness?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Augmenting themselves further to change their appearance and mannerisms so that they don't relate so much to the wanted posters or the people that are looking for them. And so the humans gave us an opportunity for them to explore the success of those changes. Also in those scenes where we had the conversation about how human it wanted to be, it also talked about that it didn't want to be human. It wanted to just be itself, but also that it didn't want a sex, that it was like not interested in that at all. So that read to me as Murderbot being ace. So that was interesting. That gives us some more stuff. So we learn a lot more about Murderbot as a person, I think, in that way.
Yeah, I like seeing like Murderbot's thoughts about, oh, like I've never been asked my opinion on things, and being able to not answer questions right when they're asked and stuff.
It
won't waste a lot of your time if you guys read it.
That's fair. You know, you're making all these points. Just maybe.
Our time is so precious.
If that was true, we wouldn't have read that one Milkman book a long time ago.
Oh my gosh. That was such a struggle.
Book. I can't even remember.
You see, it was Anna Burns, that one book we all rated 1 star.
I was so pumped because it was Christmas, and
I just shoved that right to the back.
Oh, see, Josh is making some good points. Okay. But
okay, we didn't read the Milkman one.
Was it? No.
It was mostly hero or only hero?
You're right. I'm so sorry. You're right. Hold on. Where did I get Milkman?
They just had another book that had a Milkman.
They also wrote a book called The Milkman. Sorry. I didn't even read that. I don't know why that's at the forefront.
I feel like Jessa was going to punish herself and read it, but I don't know if she ever did.
I feel like I've repressed that book so hard that it now only exists in my mind in this abstract fear space right at the back.
Where bad books exist.
Yeah. So that's the bad shelf.
So for anybody who's watching this and has no idea what we're talking about, this is a book we read 2 years ago and probably the worst book we've read as a club. So I don't even remember whose channel it was on.
It was.
I don't know.
An embarrassment. It wasn't even sci-fi.
Yeah. Anyway, going back to Murderbot. We have so many tangents. Okay, so reacting to what Mel just said about them being asked choices and gaining autonomy, I think that was particularly important, especially because Murderbot is autistic coded, because a lot of times people who are autistic are not given the opportunities to like be able to make that choice as people. And so it relates to the story, I think, in a way where even Dr. Mensa, who like was trying to give it some semblance of freedom, was still like, I'm going to help you by taking you here and doing this for you. But Murderbot ultimately made that decision and saying, you know what, no, I don't want to be here. Thank you for the opportunity. I'm going to make my own freedom. So like that continuation of choice. Yeah.
I like how Dr. Mensa is still covering for Murderbot when they're like, where is Murderbot? And he's like, oh, I let them roam. And everybody's trying to hunt Murderbot down now. But
Poor guy. Poor little guy.
Poor little bot. What a good bot. Yeah, what else?
when Murderbot was fighting the humans, and not all the humans died, I was like, wouldn't they know that robot, kind of? Because they like shot Murderbot and everything, and Murderbot was kind of fine.
Yeah, they were already questioning Murderbot before, because at one point weren't they saying like, oh, you're pretty augmented, aren't you?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like they were kind of sussed, but I don't know if given the opportunity, if they would have been like, huh, something's up. Like, is this like what percent human are you and what percent robot are you? But again, because we're just from Murderbot's perspective, I don't know if we got an opportunity to ask that. Plus, they had a lot going on, so I don't blame them for asking that question. They had bigger fish to fry.
That's true. Didn't they, at the end, did they kill Tlacey?
They killed? Yeah. Yeah, I think so. But they left 3 people on that ship alive.
But now they have no excuse because they did a murder and it was their choice.
True.
So now they are an actual murderer.
They did, yeah, I think they killed 2 people and left like 3 of them alive. Which I was like,
the uncertainty about the murder. Okay, if anybody remembers how that went down, let us know.
If this book left a stronger impression on anybody else, please let us know.
I feel like I failed.
We've done a terrible job.
I just don't remember. I didn't care enough to remember. I'm so sorry. Oh, yeah, the social commentary was more interesting to me than the actual plot, so I feel bad. Like, I'm not reviewing this fully.
Yeah. Plus, you did read it a month ago, to be fair.
Yeah, stuff.
But then you guys read it like yesterday, so excuse me.
I'm
Listen, I was
pretty
just trying to cover for you.
Oh, that's so funny.
I'm 95% sure.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yes, because I think when Murderbot was going to save Tapan or whoever, the human, the client, they went into the room and then used Talisi as like a shield. And then
yeah, but they like snapped her neck as well, didn't they?
Yeah, he like crushed the windpipe of Talisi or something.
Okay, so she's dead.
Or
they're dead.
They're dead.
Okay.
Redemption.
What great investigative skills.
Mystery solved.
Just tinglings in the brain.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I guess at the same time, like I'm gonna move past that for a second because I have nothing else to add to that part of the conversation. I could see why after that, in a way, that it didn't want to take the comfort bot with it onto this mission, because it is potentially going into very dangerous territory, and that may not be something that the comfort unit wants for itself. So I guess in a way, it's kind of giving it the choice, the ability to make the choices that it had to take for itself. I don't know.
But they even asked the comfort bot, like, "Oh, you want to stay, or you want to?
You want to come with me on this murderous mission?
Ship.
You want to find out about my evil backstory, my villain origins?
You want to come with me, who is now a murderer by choice? Just killed a guy. They're after me.
Comfort bot wanted to Lacey dead anyways.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else there is to say about it.
I feel like we covered it pretty good.
I think Murderbot was pissed off with the comfort bot because all the trouble they caused them. I can see that.
Yeah, this is true. This is true. But in my mind, I was like, friend, you just found another person who also may have hacked their govern module or is experiencing something, and you kind of want to know, like, what's the deal with you? Maybe they can help you find answers.
But at the
same time, I can't watch TV with you, so bye. Like, what?
on the other side of that coin as well is, do you want to keep all the sane people in this revolution in the same place? Is that a safe thing to do?
You think comfort bot would go around and cause trouble and like free all other comfort bots or something?
Yeah, that reminds me of that Batman thing, that Batman edit. If you kill a murderer, the number of the murders in the world doesn't change. Yeah, but I've killed like 24 murderers.
Oh, it's so great. Always net positive, guys. Murders.
Oh. Yeah, I'm lessening the amount of murderers there are in the world.
It's hilarious. Okay. Yeah. I don't know what else to say about this. I think.
Do we want to announce next month's read?
Yeah.
Woohoo! Unless someone in the chat, if you guys have something specific that you want us to talk about, or you want to vent about something, drop it in the chat before we go soon.
You can always join us on the Discord and get angry with us in the Discord.
That's true. I feel like we did.
True. Angry memes are always welcome.
Okay, so we are reading Certain Dark Things. Dun, 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 dun.
Do you want to read the back for us?
Sure. Where am I going? Okay, here we go. Welcome to Mexico City, an oasis in a sea of vampires. Domingo, a lonely, garbage-collecting street kid, is just trying to survive its heavily policed streets when a jaded vampire on the run swoops into his life. Alt, the descendant of Aztec blood drinkers, is smart, beautiful, and dangerous. Domingo is mesmerized. Alt needs to quickly escape the city, far from the rival narco-vampire clan relentlessly pursuing her. Her plan doesn't include Domingo, but Alt finds herself warming up to the scrappy young man and his undeniable charm. As the trail of corpses stretched behind them, local cops and crime bosses start closing in. Vampires, humans, cops, and the criminals collide in the dark streets of Mexico City. Do Alt and Domingo stand a chance of making it out alive, or will the city devour them all? Dun 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 dun.
Interesting. Vampires.
Ooh, and one of us has already read this
and liked it.
I really liked it. You know, I felt after reading it that if this was a book I had read when I was like 14 to 16, it would have like defined my entire personality for like 5 years.
That's hilarious.
So
I love that.
I really enjoyed it.
Okay, so I'm gonna go into this hoping that it's at least just a fun time. Cool. Okay.
No last thoughts, anyone?
I think I'm Gucci. Our next one
is it sci-fi though?
I would call it sci-fi.
Okay.
It's set in the future, and it's in a like decidedly quite cyberpunk setting.
Yeah,
and it does talk about like genetic engineering and stuff like that.
I saw something pop up in the chat. I saw silver nitrate, and I was like,
Oh, that's interesting. So I just put it in Google because I was gonna go check the Goodreads category listing,
Hmm.
and it says genres: fantasy fiction, noir fiction, paranormal fantasy. But where's the sci-fi? Because I remember seeing it somewhere listed as sci-fi too.
I'd call it
put-
sci-fi.
Is it listed as sci-fi? It is listed as sci-fi. Okay, cool.
I was
But,
like,
yeah.
it's too late now.
Yeah, it is too late. Yeah, but it's like everything else, like fantasy and noir before it's considered sci-fi. So
After that Anna Burns book, we got to check the tags more carefully.
Gosh.
valid,
Drama.
valid.
That was an interesting live show, though. If anybody wants to hunt that down.
we were all pretty mad.
Yes. Or you can like go to the info channel in the Discord and just scroll up to see all the live shows, and it's there somewhere. Yeah. Okay, cool. So our next live show is actually pretty soon. It's in the next 2 weeks. I think we're trying to keep a regular schedule of like the last Sunday of the month.
Yeah.
And at the same time as this one. So this was our late live show because we rescheduled, but that's okay. Things happen. And the holidays are coming, which probably means the schedule is going to move around a little bit, but that's the plan. So we'll be reading this in the next 2 weeks.
Awesome. Exciting.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Or read it last minute like me.
But then you're fresh every time.
Oh, fresh for the live show.
I'm fresh.
Okay.
Okay. See everyone next time then.
Bye, everybody.